Hi guys, Melissa here. It is Tell My Story Day. So I have challenged my Young Living team to go out and share their story. And I am taking a bit of my own medicine today and I'm going to share my Young Living story with you. So my story starts in kind of a negative way in that when I was first approached about using essential oils about 5 years ago, I looked at my husband and my daughter who had attended a class and were super excited, and I said, y'all are crazy if you think that I'm ever going to buy into something that comes in a little tiny bottle is going to benefit my big old body. Like, that's just not going to happen. It is a complete waste of time. It's a waste of hope. It's a waste of money. Just move on. And that day, my husband did end up buying one bottle of essential oils. And we got in the car that afternoon and he tried the oil. And it had been in an incredibly difficult time in his life. It was a time of huge transition, huge turmoil. And he had been really down. He had been really discouraged and just overwhelmed with everything. And he put that oil on, and within just a few minutes, the entire car, like the kids and I, were just busting his chops like crazy and saying, "You are high on that oil. Like, what is in that stuff?" Because for the first time in a very long time, I looked at my husband, and my husband's face had peace and had the lines that had been etched into his face began to relax. So that was really one of the first interactions that I had. But at the point, I still was not even a little bit willing to listen to anything about essential oils. Fast forward 2 years and a dislocated rib later, and I was in extreme agony on my way to Charlotte for the day. So I was looking at doing a 3.5-hour car ride with the family in extreme agony and not being able to move or take a deep breath. So we stopped at the doctor on the way out. He adjusted the rib and he looked at me and he said, "Melissa, I can see you're uncomfortable. I have something that I believe would really help you. Would you be willing to try something unconventional just if, on the chance that it would give you some comfort throughout your day?" And at that point, I was willing to try anything. "Sure, doc, I'll try it." So that was the very first physical taste of essential oils that I had in my body. Within 20 minutes of using that oil, I was able to take a deep breath for the first time that day. Within an hour, I was enjoying the car ride with the family, and it wasn't until many hours later that I realized, oh my goodness, I went through the whole day and I was not in pain. I was not uncomfortable. What is in that stuff? I'll have to get me some. And I filed it and I moved on. Then, about 6 months later, the big part of our story is our daughter. And I was sitting in a doctor's office waiting for some test results. Our daughter has spent most of her life in a pattern of sickness. And at that point in her life, she was taking, at 15, she was taking 20 different daily medications just to try to stay well, and pretty much on 3 to 4 antibiotics a year, pretty much like clockwork. We would know when it would happen, and multiple packs of steroids for her lungs. And so at that point, the doctor came in. They had run their tests, and it was the first time that any doctor had looked at us and he said, "She has reactive lung disease." And then he spoke the words to me that will forever be etched in my brain. And he said, "Melissa, I want you to go home and I want you to take a look at what you're cleaning your house with. All the cleaners, all the chemicals, anything that has fragrance or smell, I want you to go home and I want you to take a look at it, and then I want you to throw it in the garbage and find an alternative." And I was really curious, why? How am I going to do that? I need those to keep the house clean because we can't have dust, we can't have dust mites, we can't have this, we can't have mold, we can't have... And he said, nope. He said, what you're using, what's in those chemicals is what's keeping her lungs mean and angry continually. And we had been doing enough back due diligence of learning about the oils and learning the different companies and seeing what they had to offer and trying to make a decision. And at that point, we knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that Young Living had everything that we needed to get started making these changes for our daughter. And so that's exactly what I did. I came home from the doctor's office. I picked up one of the cleaners that I used every single day in every single room of our house, and I picked the very first ingredient on the back of that canister, and I typed in the dangers of and the name of the ingredient, and what popped out was sickening to me. It just made me sick. And so I threw them in the garbage, and I ordered our starter kit and a bottle of Thieves household cleaner. And one by one, over the next couple of months, we began making changes in our home. A couple of months turned into now a couple of years with Young Living. And, you know, what started out for me as a nope, no way, I'm never going to use those oils, turned into, well, okay, I'll use the oils and we'll see how they work. And then it turned into, well, I'll use the oils, but please don't ever ask me to do one of those, you know, to be one of those people who sells the oils. But after using them and after seeing my daughter be able to toss each prescription in the garbage and not have to take them and whittle her way down from 20 different pills a day to 1 pill a day for daily maintenance was nothing short of absolutely amazing. And if that doesn't bring you passion, I don't know what will. And so then I began sharing my story in an authentic way and just going out there and, you know, helping others see their need and get adjusted. So if you see me post something about Young Living, now you know that comes from a place of true authenticity because they changed my life. They changed my family's life, my husband's, my daughter's. And we each one of us, all 5 of us in our family, have amazing stories that we could share with you individually of how these products have worked for us. And so if I share with you, know that I share because I love you. And I also want to say, you know, please don't get mad when you see me posting something about Young Living. Know that know my story now and know where it comes from. And if you ever want to know more, know that I am more than happy to spend some time showing you how you can begin making these changes to make a big impact in your life as well. Thanks for listening to my story.